Hello, and welcome to another Planet Destiny video. This is Patrick Casey, otherwise known as Holtzman, and today I will be bringing you an in-depth guide to the Vault of Glass. This video will cover everything you need to know to have the smoothest time clearing the vault. I will be going over multiple strategies per encounter so your team can have the most knowledge possible for each fight. Before you go into the raid, you will need a few things, mainly 5 other people at level 26 or higher who have about an hour or two to make it through. It's recommended to at least be level 28 before you venture into the vault, but it's been cleared by groups as low as level 25. Just know that the higher level you are, the easier time you're going to have. You'll also need a few ammo synths of every type, but be sure you load up on more heavy ammo synths than others. Go ahead and grab any void damage special and heavy weapons as well. These are used against one specific mob type, namely the Minotaurs. And while you don't need to have void damage weapons, it's just good to carry either a heavy or a special, so you can at least get the shields down on those mobs. It's also suggested that you have your weapons upgraded to their maximum attack, so that you won't be losing any damage. Once you have everything and everyone, go into orbit and prepare yourselves for some fun. The first encounter is designed to be done in 3 groups of 2. There are 3 sync plates that will require defending for about 5 minutes. You have to activate all the plates at the same time, and that'll cause the spire to form, which will eventually open the vault. The plates, once activated, do not actually require you to stand directly in them. Just go stand on the plates, get them activated, and then move to maybe some better defending positions. Each group should be really vocal about incoming Praetorians to each other. The middle sync plate is probably the easiest to defend, as you have ample time to take down anything coming to you. In my experience, having the middle group sit on top of the left and right pillars with icebreakers or just any other sniper rifle or scout rifle, they'll be able to take out anything coming up well before it actually gets there. And then they'll also be able to help out anyone else that they can actually see from there. Praetorians will spawn about every 20 seconds or so, and they really take priority over everything else. They will be the ones that actually cause you to lose control of the sync plate. Defend your plates for about 5 minutes, and then the vault will eventually open. Your reward for opening the vault will be a chest containing a few Ascendant energies or shards. I've never actually seen any other loot come out of this. Once you open that, make your way down the jump maze, and you'll soon see the next encounter, the Templar. The Templar fight is split up into multiple phases. There are checkpoints along the way that will save your progress and reward loot. The first phase is what I call the Conflux phase. It has 3 sub-phases, and they kind of build upon each other. To start this, and the encounter as a whole, have everyone jump down to the main platform. Doing this will spawn the first Conflux, hereby known as the Middle Conflux. There will be Vex spawning from the very far left, far right, and the middle, all trying to make their way to this Conflux. In addition to the normal goblins and hobgoblins and minotaurs that spawn, there will be a special new mob here called Fanatics. These need to be killed as soon as possible, as they will explode and leave a pool of green stuff on the ground. Standing in this pool of green stuff will give you a debuff that will eventually kill you when the Templar casts his Ritual of Negation, which he is continually casting throughout the fight. To get rid of this debuff, you have to jump into the middle of the room where there's a pool of light, and that will cleanse the debuff. This can only be done about once every 30 seconds for the entire raid, so if you use it and then someone else gets the debuff, then they might end up dying. Back to the Middle Conflux. You need to defend it from the Vex sacrificing themselves to the actual Conflux. So split your group up into 3 groups of 2 again, and have one group stick back by the Middle Conflux. This will be known as the middle group. Their responsibility is to kill anything coming up the stairs. Have another group go towards the left side of the room and shoot the goblins coming out of the very far room. It's best to have one person with an icebreaker here, as they can completely cover that room by themselves. Having one other person kind of underneath them to cover anything coming from the right or up on the middle stairs is also suggested. The right group will be up by the cave, and their job is to control mobs coming out of the cave and the stairs to the left. After about 2 minutes, the Templar will summon its legions, and Vex will start pouring out of the middle stairs. These will mostly be made up of Fanatics, which have yellow health bars, and yellow health bar harpies. The Confluxes will fortunately despawn during this phase, so your only real priority is to kill things and stay alive. There's 2 ways to do this phase. Either kill everything using rockets, grenades, anything else at your disposal, or just cheese the encounter and stand on top of the pillar on top of the left side. Nothing can hit you up there, and eventually the Vex will despawn, leading you into the next phase of Conflux defending. In this phase, the middle Conflux has disappeared, and there are just the left and right Confluxes. Have your groups stay in their positions and keep defending their areas like the first Confluxes. There will be Minotaurs spawning now, and those need to be taken out with like a Void LMG or Fusion Rifle as quick as possible. Once again, after defending your Conflux for about 2 to 3 minutes, they will despawn, and the Templar will summon its legions again. And then the final part of the Conflux phase, all of the Confluxes will be up. So the left, the right, and the middle one will be up. If everyone's been doing their job correctly the entire time, then this is really just going to be a repeat of the first 2 phases. The enemies don't really get any harder, they don't really start coming out any faster at all either. The legions will come one final time, and then you're on to the next phase. The next phase is called the Oracle phase. During this one, there are, I believe, 7 oracles that will spawn around the room. They must be killed, or else everyone will get a debuff that will pretty much instantly kill them. The phase will start by having each oracle show its spawn location, and it will be accompanied by a chiming tone. Take note of their location around the room and the chimes associated with that particular spawn. Each Conflux group should really just stay around their original locations and be ready to hit the oracles that spawn during this phase. In addition to the oracles that will be spawning, there will be Vex continuously spawning like the Conflux phase. The oracles will also keep spawning in succession until all 7 of them are killed in one phase. Once this phase is over, you'll finally be rewarded with some loot, and then you'll be on to the actual Templar fight. This is the final phase of the fight, and takes all parts from all the other phases and really adds them into one. There's also a new element being introduced called the Relic. It's best to have your highest level member, or just the best player in general, control the Relic. The easiest way I've found to do the encounter is to have everyone in the raid go up to the right by the cave. During the fight, oracles will spawn, and from this cave position, you can kill 5 of the 7 oracles. The other 2 are to be left alone, and they're debuff cleansed by the relic holder. Holding the grenade button down will activate the cleanse. Hold it down for about 1.5 seconds to cleanse the debuffs. To start the fight, have your designated relic holder run down and pick up the relic. He needs to immediately go up and meet everyone in the cave area. The relic holder should be killing all the harpies that spawn and come up to the cave area. Everyone else should also be helping kill harpies and use their supers. Using your super will generate more orbs. The more orbs that are generated will mean the fight will just go by faster. This fight will also pretty much just largely revolve around the relic holder. Their main job is to kill harpies, cleanse people, and shoot their super at the Templar so everyone else can damage it. To aid with cleansing everyone should kind of group up when the debuff goes out, so then you can all just get cleansed immediately. This will limit the amount of time you spend not killing ads or damaging the boss. Once the relic holder has built up their super, they need to communicate that they are about to shoot the boss. This will allow everyone to get into position to damage the boss. Once the super's fired, a few things are going to happen. The Templar will lose its shield and become damageable, and then 3 members of the raid will also become detained. Everyone should be in charge of breaking their own detainment shield by shooting it. Do not use a rocket launcher here, or else shooting the rocket launcher will hit your own detainment shield and you'll die. If you leave the shield, you will also die. Sometimes the relic holder needs help breaking out of their shield. The best way that I've found to do this as a relic holder is just to jump and quickly hit right trigger to do a smash attack. If you just do the normal R2 trigger, you can occasionally jump out of the bubble and then you'll die, and that'll pretty much cause a wipe. Once everyone gets into the rhythm of killing all the ads and getting into position, popping detained shields, shooting the Templar, the fight really just turns into a matter of simple repetition. It will take a while, and you'll generally go right up to the enrage timer. Alternative strategies for this are to have people placed around the room to stop the Templar from teleporting. To do this, everyone needs to be in similar areas that they were with the Confluxes, kind of. When the Templar shield is destroyed, a red ring will come up showing where he's going to teleport. If you have someone stand in that ring, then that'll stop the Templar from actually teleporting. This will also cause a lot of Minotaurs to spawn. It's suggested though that you don't do this method until you really understand the core mechanics of the fight, because adding in that extra element is actually very, very difficult. However, if you do this, you'll get another loot chest, but again, don't bother trying to attempt it. I've never actually done it. Eventually, the boss will go down, and then you're rewarded with some loot. After this will be the Gorgon's Maze loot and the associated chests. The chests will have, the first chest up to the left will have a chance to have exotics in it, or kind of class items. This is the one that everyone generally wants to hit up. Then after that, there's going to be one inside the actual maze itself, and this one just contains shards and energies. That's all I've ever really seen anyone get from it as well. Now, to actually get through the Gorgon's Maze, it's going to be easiest to just die after getting that second chest. Go hug a Gorgon and the entire raid will wipe. Watch the path that we take in the video. Since the Gorgons are on a set patrol path, you can pretty much mimic exactly what we do. Just crouch walk and then start running once the eventual coast is clear. Do not double jump or use any ability, because the Gorgons are very sensitive to sound and movement, and they will come investigate anything like that. As long as you stay quiet and run, you'll be fine. And then you'll make it onto the next section called the jump puzzle. The jump puzzle is going to be a wall for some people. Some people it's really easy. It took my original raid group about 30 minutes to actually figure out how to do it properly. Just follow how I jump in the video, and pretty much any class with any jump combination will be fine. Once everyone makes it down, then you'll reach a new checkpoint, and you will spawn from here from now on. This has been Patrick Casey with PlanetDestiny.com, your guide to the Destiny universe.